Welcome to Hanoi, Vietnam's capital, where I began a series of videos exploring this beautiful and fascinating country from north to south. Hanoi is a vibrant place, both modern and ancient, filled with great things to see, to do, and to eat. And if you aren't turned on to it yet, stay tuned, and I think you will be. I'm walking alongside Hon Kim Lake near the heart of Hanoi's Old Town, just a few minutes from my hotel. This lake is one of several freshwater lakes that dot Hanoi and that help make life in the city so delightful. It's a great place to walk and people watch, or just to sit and have a coffee and croissant and take in the colorful goings-on around you. Like the rest of the city, the lake is representative of layers of history that date to ancient times when Hanoi was part of China, going back to before the time of Christ, and until the first Vietnamese royal dynasty rose here in the 11th century CE. During the 1400s, one of Vietnam's kings loved to fish in this lake and had a tower built for his comfort. Although it was later destroyed, the tower here now has been a curious landmark. In about 1890, the French erected a miniature Statue of Liberty of the kind that they gifted to the United States atop this tower. Needless to say, it didn't last that long after the French left. Near the north end of the lake is another enduring symbol of Old Hanoi I'm about to cross. It's the Hook Bridge, HUC, built in the 1860s to connect with the so-called Temple of the Jade Mountain on a small island in the lake. This deep red bridge is beautiful anytime, but maybe especially at nighttime when it's lit up and casts a beautiful reflection. There are several small temples on the island dedicated to one or another Taoist and Confucianist philosophers, including one Vietnamese poet who's a national hero. It's another of those quiet places one can escape in the middle of the otherwise bustling city. If you're looking for a great cup of coffee in Hanoi, or in much of Vietnam for that matter, you'll be delighted to know that you'll have little trouble finding one. But if you want that good cup of coffee at, shall we say, a memorable place, then you might want to try the Note. So called because the entire place, all 4 floors of it, are decorated by sticky notes that customers have been attaching to the walls here for years.
American coffee, black.
Yeah, hot on.
An egg sandwich.
I said like that.
And a croissant.
Okay, that's all.
That's it.
Yes. Then, where's the table? We have there for you.
Thank you. Got it.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? So as you can see, my food has come. I'm going to dig into it and enjoy. That's good coffee. So I had a hard time deciding what to put on my sticky note. So I thought maybe Outbound with Ron. Please subscribe. Has a ring to it, don't you think?
này được lên truyền hình đấy ông Tây ơi. Không muốn đi nước ngoài đâu ông Tây ơi.
The architecture of Hanoi has been greatly influenced by the French, especially in the old part of the city, who occupied Vietnam, of course, for roughly 60 to 70 years, up until the middle of the 20th century. And in the neighborhood I'm walking, there's a prime example of that in the building that I'm going to show you. It's not just a building, it's a church, and it's not just a church, but it's a cathedral, a Roman Catholic cathedral, St. Joseph's Cathedral. You will notice immediately that it bears a striking resemblance to the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. This church has, of course, been the seat of Roman Catholicism in Hanoi for, what, more than 140 years, 130 years, and it's still an active cathedral. It's gone through a beating environmentally, with its granite exterior surface being eroded, or degraded I should say, by air pollution among other things over the many years. But church authorities did something during the COVID pandemic, and that is they used the time to do an exterior renovation so that the outside of the church these days has a rather spiffed up appearance. I'm standing outside one of the more unusual afternoon bar scenes, if you will, in Hanoi. You're looking at a railroad track, and there are patrons at the cafes alongside these tracks who sit and drink very close to the tracks. However, it's not as it used to be. In fact, the reason I'm standing here in this spot is because there's now a uniformed attendant preventing people from walking along the tracks here. Excuse me, but why is this not open?
No, electricity.
What's the problem?
No
with,
walking, no walking.
well, but I have to go around,
Around.
and then I can walk. That's right? It used to be you would see people practically on top of the tracks here, sitting in their little chairs, passing the afternoon with a drink, and the train warning signal would blow and they'd all move back. They're not allowing people to enter as they used to along the tracks. Instead, you may walk into any of the establishments from the street side, proceed to the back of the establishment, which is to say the narrow alleyway through which the train travels, and have a seat there. Things have changed here from past days when people just walked along the tracks, and I don't know, I have no idea about the number of fatalities, if any, that have resulted from what used to go on there, but it's no longer going on. although the two often get confused. Old Town Hanoi, or the Old Quarter, and the French Quarter are, of course, two different things. They're close to one another, separated in part by Hanoi Kim Lake, but their characters are very different. Oftentimes people will refer to the Old Quarter and mean the French Quarter, and vice versa. The Old Quarter, on the other hand, is different, as you're about to see as I walk into its inner core toward the streets filled with bars, restaurants, cafes, lots of nightlife, as is common in much of Southeast Asia. The demarcation between street and sidewalk exists only in the mind. The sidewalks are not so much for people as they are for motorcycles to be parked, as well as food stalls that spill out of the businesses, engulfing all of the sidewalk, even extending into the street. So it's always kind of an obstacle course to walk around places like this, and you learn very quickly you can depend pretty much on drivers of motorcycles and cars to be watching out for you. The food possibilities in Old Town are limitless. Tonight I'm going to duck into a simple place, kind of place where you can eat outside on a little bench or go inside, and I'm going to go inside. I've ordered 2 items here, the pho with chicken and topping it off with the steamed rice with stir-fried beef and black pepper sauce. And I know it's going to be good. Stir-fried beef with the pepper sauce has arrived, and I'm not going to wait for the pho. I'm going to start eating. Very, very good. You know, I think this in itself was a meal, even without the pho. I just decided to load up tonight. This cost 60,000 dong, which is a little more than $2. Another 60,000 for the pho, so it's essentially a $4 meal with enough to feed 2 people easily. That is a big bowl of pho. I don't know what I was thinking. You could spend a lot of money in a fancy restaurant, in a fancy Vietnamese restaurant, and get nothing better than this. This particular street that I'm on is commonly referred to, and this will come as no surprise, Beer Street. Just about every business in this 2-block long area is a bar. It's still relatively early, so it's yet to fill. The noise and the crowds have picked up in Old Town.